Welcome back everyone in this new live development video about building an auto chess game. In this video we're going to take care of hosting and joining logic. So we're going to need a lot of we're going to build a lot of logic in our game instance. So we're going to open that up. So the game instance, for those of you who don't know what a game instance is, it's like it's not an actor. It's something. It's an object that spawns when you launch your application. Before everything else, it spawns, and it remains for the duration of your application launch. So it's basically handling the game window itself and what happens and where how can I say that, it's basically something you can somewhere you can keep track of everything that happens in between maps and before and after the launch of your application. So this is really important, and we're just going to check how it behaves. So if we plug a print string into our init event, nothing is going to happen because we did not tell the game that we need to use our game instance. So that's what we're going to tell. So in our project settings, in maps and modes, we're going to tell the game instance class is equal to our auto battler game instance. And when we hit play, we're going to have hello being printed. And if we play with two players, we are going to have two hellos, and we have some kind of weird behavior already. We have client -2 outputting an hello. I think if we just do this, just for the sake of testing, we're just going to add a delay there. And now the print says client 1. So this comes from the fact that when we press play using two players there, they are instantly being the client is automatically joining the server game in kind of a virtual way, in kind of a truncated way, just for the sake of us being able to test. So this basically take a lot of shortcuts to join both players together, and if we don't have the delay, the game instance of the client doesn't know what clients she is when she outputs the hello, and if we add the delay, she knows, because the truncated initialization from the two-player setup has managed to properly being recorded by the game instance of the client. So just for now we're going to leave the delay there and remove that print string, but I think we don't even need the delay because in the correct initialization it won't happen. If you package your project, it won't, that kind of bug won't happen. It's not supposed to happen. So first thing we are going to keep track of is if we are in multiplayer or not. Like this, we're going to build a new boolean called our multiplayer, b multiplayer, and then we're going to bring up some nodes regarding multiplayer session. We're going to need create session, destroy, find, and I think one last join session. Like this, we're going to need these nodes to handle the joining and quitting logic. So if we hit play, what do we want to do here? We want to say something like, when we click create game, we are now hosting a lobby when we press that button. So first thing we want to do is to have some kind of reference to our game instance in our outgame menu logic. But maybe not there, because maybe we want our server browser to handle that. No, we don't. So I think we're going to create a new function in our outgame menu, get game instance. We're not going to name it that way because it's not the same way than Unreal. get game instance reference ref, and it's going to return our class of game instance. So if we type in game instance, it should appear auto battler game instance. It's going to have a return value, it's going to be pure, and we're going to promote that to a variable called game instance ref, and we're kind of used to that process now. So if it's not valid, we can grab the game instance from any place in the world. We can grab the game, have a reference to it, and we can cast it into our type of game instance, and then we can store it into a variable like this. So we want to grab our game, to have a reference to our game instance. When do we want to do this? When we create a game, we want to do that. So we're going to grab our game instance and create a new custom event there called create game. So we want to be creating a game now when we press that. And what do we want to do here? We want to create a session. We want to use LAN, and maybe I'm just going to check if we have to enable some plugins, because I think I might remember that we do need that. Built-in remote session, no. Network, okay, maybe we don't, so we'll see if it works or not. So we're going to create a game, and so we're going to need a player controller reference like this. So it's going to bring up a node here. We're going to grab our owning player because it has an owning player, I suppose. If we go to our player controller, yeah, we are passing an owning player as parameter there, so we're good with this. So we want to open level. You always want to open a level after creating a session, else it won't work. And we have some options there. We want to, I think, if I remember correctly, that's this way. I'm just going to double check. Unreal 4 listen server commands like this. I think, yeah, that's what we want. I don't quite remember. How, what is the correct command? We're going to try with that. We'll see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll fix it. We want to go to our level out game menu when we do that. Absolute, I don't know what that does. If true options are reset, if false options are carried over from current levels. Okay, I don't know what they mean by options there. So right off the bat, it should do something. It should hide the widget we show when we press create game, and you only want to press create game with the server here. So yeah, so it worked. What happened there? Why was the client sent back to that map? Because the fallback map when you get disconnected from a server is the map you specify in the map and mods in the game default map. So we want the game default map to be our out game menu map, and when we press create game with the server, the client is still going to be on the menu. And why is he disconnected when we create a game? Because they are like I was saying, both of these players are being connected by default by the truncated system to hit play. And when we create a game, it breaks that connection and it kicks the client of the base session we are in. So that's why the client is being disconnected. And when we create a game, what do we want to do before succeeding? We want to say that we are now in multiplayer. And we want to make simple tests when we are, so we don't want to show the multiplayer lobby when we create a game. We actually want to do something else. We want to check whether or not we are in multiplayer when that widget is initialized. So we want to grab our game instance ref, we want to check if it's multiplayer, and if it is, what do we want to do? We want to show our multiplayer lobby. That way we want to make it self-test invisible. So if we create a game, we can see we are now in multiplayer. So we will do some kind of logic to make it so our client joins that guy in multiplayer. So how can we do this? It's quite easily. For now we're going to build the quickest possible logic, custom event join lobby. We're going to call that search game, find game, the same way we named our button, and we need a player controller as well. So what do we do when we find a game? We actually find sessions. We're going to print something there on success, finding success, and we're going to add another print screen on failure, finding fail, and we're going to make that red, real red. So max results, if we put 0, I think it searches all. We want to use LAN, and if we succeed we want to join the first session we find. So like this, and if we do just that, and if we are finding a game and succeeding at a game and succeeding to join the session, I think we're going to do something like we are now in multiplayer, and we'll see if it works or not, or if we need to put that before. I'm not sure. So if we hit play, if we hit create game, oh, it failed to work. Why did it fail to work? Yeah, because we disconnected that and we didn't plug the find game logic, so we'll do this. So for now, when we press find game, we're just going to grab our game instance and we're going to find games, and we're not going to call our lobby browser logic for now, because it will be the purpose of another video. Right now we just want to see if the joining and the creating and joining logic is working. So we want to find the game, and we're setting the multiplayer. So if everything works there, we should be seeing this menu in the client window. So if we are finding a game, failing success, finding success, so it didn't seem to be working. So what if we put that in here? I think it should be working. So if we are creating a game and then finding a game, finding success, I think we're going to add 2 other print strings there on success, on failure, and we're going to call them join success and join fail. Okay, I double click that, I didn't want to. So if I'm creating a game and then finding a game, join fail. So I think that's because that thing is not correct. I think we'll just remove the exclamation mark for now, because I think that's the problem. Join fail. So I wonder why it's not working. So we do find a session, but public connection 0. Let's put that 10. We're creating the game, we are finding the game. Oh yeah, that was the number of player which was not working. So we said we had only 0 maximum players. So they are now connected the same way they were connected when we hit play. But why was it important? This is because this is the real logic we're going to use. This is the real logic we're going to use. So we wanted to see if it worked properly. So they are not being connected to each other through that logic. And I think we're just going to build one last logic just to make it so we have everything we need set up cleanly. If someone leaves, we have to destroy his session, or else he's not going to be able to find anymore or to create anymore. And we kind of need that logic, because else it kind of break the joining and the quitting session, logic session. So we want to open up our player controller, and we want to create, and we just want to say, or rather on the game instance, I think, events shutdown. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll be building that logic in another video if we realize we do need that. So I think it's going to wrap up that one, because finding and hosting logic is working, and we can move on to building the logic to start the game, I think, or maybe the multiplayer lobby logic. So we'll see how it goes. Hope you guys enjoyed that video, and hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.